Alright, we've already got a panel out, that's a good start. The Twitch activity feed is gone, so I'll just put Twitter over it and have my mod view open. Mute. There you go, mod view is now open, so at least I can see chat from this. Right, I actually do, let's minimize this as I don't need it. Now, let's put this over here because I will need Twitter. Live now, working on stuff. I'm going the yeah, so there. TV / shizuthetarnished. Then I need YouTube. Actually, I can open it here better because I need Twitter. So I need a 12-hour of relaxing music to work with. 11 hours 58. Well, I mean, that's technically good enough. So, how's that sound? So many tabs. Don't need that. Can I close that dock and reopen it? Will that work? Twitch activity feed. No, it's just straight up fucking gone. Okay. So I don't even know what's going on. I suppose I can check the activity feed in mod view, perhaps. I guess that looks about right. Don't need the preview, but what I do need to do is... Right, first of all I need to look for my timer. Test. And then I need advanced search, timer from my account because I made one for I've only really done countdown timer, some overlays and making random things spin. What did I call it? Maybe I listed it under areas. Because I did say no. Could it be on my Google Drive? It might be. I don't know how long it would be there for though. Google Drive. Why isn't it bookmarked? I'm sure I had it bookmarked. Google Drive. Sign in. No, I've got the 3-hour overlay, but that's not what I'm looking for. Whether I've saved it anywhere. Let me see. Timer. 5-minute timer. Una's countdown timer. I do still have it somewhere. Open file location. Desktop countdown timer 3-hour. Okay, so I did finish it, which obviously. So I've got that, and now I know where it is. Okay, so I've got that. What I probably want to do is copy that to desktop. I don't know if it, yeah, it'll let me copy, it just won't let me move because it's open. What was the thing I'm making last night? So that'd be still my profile. And I'll have to download that again because I made it and then deleted it because I wasn't completely happy with it. Oh wait, she deleted the clip? That's sad. I should have downloaded it and uploaded it myself. So, ThingSpin, Twitter video downloader. Uh-oh, an error. It doesn't exist. I'm very sorry, but it does. Twitter SSS. You're making requests too fast, please wait 10 seconds. I guess they've finally put a thing on here that stops you from downloading too quickly. Okay. I think TW down doesn't work anymore. It doesn't find like 90% of the videos. Maybe it's, yeah, I've got to go into it. Let's see, SS. I think they're taking away the ability to download videos from Twitter. Different site. You value your privacy, of course you do. Connection is secure. No, it seems that the tweet link you entered does not contain video, or if there is some video downloaded, we're taking note of the issue. Please download another video. TwitSave. It's a powerful Twitter video downloader. Come on, it's not from a private account, bastards. I can't copy link to tweet. There are hidden replies? No, okay, but you can check for them, which pointless. So what do I do then? I can't download my fucking spinner. I suppose I could just remake it, but I don't think I have the asset anymore. Not like that's a problem. I can actually fix it, I suppose. I guess we start with that. Alright, publisher. Yeah, I made it and then like I wasn't completely happy with it, so I deleted it. I need the folder that has the fonts because I will never remember what font I used. I think it was Angus Styles. Insert word art. No, that doesn't look. Well, we'll see, I guess. Yeah, that is the right font. Go shizu. There we go, and then we want that. Actually, I need that 4 times. And then we need to make it into a circle. And we need to make it into an actual circle. Let's find. Let's make it bigger, and then I can. 2305. Actually, this would be easier if I just format the object and go from there. There's a fucking click area for it. There. Format word art. Size. Lock aspect ratio is off, so that should be fine. If I just mix it, do that. There you go. Now it's a circle. So we go, and then we ball, and then we ball, and then we ball. Why isn't it locking to center of document? Page design aligned to guides. It should be aligning to the very center of the page, but it's not. Not that it matters, I suppose. Remove shadow. Shape outline none. Shape fill black. Shape glow red. There you go. And now we've got the text again. I think what I did wrong with the original one is I'd made it only spin to like 90 degrees and then I stopped. Like, because it does spin, but it doesn't spin properly. Like, you can see the text sort of. It's actually more evident on the other one. Let me grab that. Yeah, I fucked it up a bit. Like, you can actually see where, like, the font, specifically right at the top here, you can see it move back down, so it's like tight to the edge, and then it's not. So I think that's because I didn't do 360 degrees of rotation. It was just like, I don't know. It wasn't 360 degrees basically. Insert shape circle. It should align to that. That's fine. Shape fill, no fill. Shape outline, none. Shape effect, glow red. And then we need another one of those, but bigger. Almost exactly correct, I think. Damn. Okay. Then send backwards. So I can access this one. Probably have a drink. I'm going to open the can in a sec. Actually, what I could do, I could remove the maximum effort, which actually is in the wrong place. I've just noticed that's unlocked from the corner where it shouldn't be. It should be. Wait, hold on. The whole overlay is slightly too big now. What's happened? The overlay hasn't. Unlock the overlay. I think I can't move it because. Hold on. Maybe I have to move it all as one thing. Yeah, it's noticeably Where's the thing for it? It looks closer, so that'll do. Relock, and then corner image needs to be. Right, so now it's in the corner. Now let me grab the Noah model. And I'll put that in the corner instead as a constant reminder of what I'm working towards right now. There you go. And save as. Save to desktop. It's a JPEG lodge. I can actually just save that as a PNG, I believe. PNG. I believe it will still work. Oh, I can't believe that was the first time I actually ever messaged Noah. Weird. And we're gonna insert image. Image file, desktop. And it is this one. Turn off corner image. Text, GDI, and just have goals. I want origami font with my color, so it's gradient from green to white. There you go. That will probably be quite hard to see. I wonder if I can give it an outline. Outline. Black. I should make it easier to see when I do this. That hasn't helped at all, has it? Needs to be a thicker backline than that. Weight. Back outline weight. Ah, there you go. Outline size. Oh, it'll be okay. And then those two can be grouped as I can't control G on anything. Corner image 2. Close that, lock that, put it under corner image without grouping it with the other corner image. There you go. Oh yeah, I see what somebody was talking about where they said that all the white could conflict with things. This should be in dark mode. How do I do that? How to switch publisher to dark mode. Open file options general office theme. Okay. I'm not logged in, so it doesn't really matter. File, options, general, office theme, dark. No, that's better. Now it doesn't look so bad. Yeah, that's a lot better. I like that one. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. It's just aligned to that. I'm wondering if I can maybe go a little bit bigger with it. I'm not a lot bigger, but although saying that, having a bit of room is probably fine. Group, save as image, to desktop as spinner. Actually, save it this time. Desktop. Okay, then we need to edit it. Make her spin. Surprised it works. It hasn't moved yet, so. since it's a perfect circle, what is the canvas size? 1080 by 1080. Okay, so that'll work fine. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to do a full rotation for it. So we need, I think it's, hold on, I need to know which direction to spin it in actually. I need it to be at 0. So it is minus. Okay. Alright, good to know. At least I know that now. -1. I would like to maybe one day be able to do things as a point system, like point 1, point 2, point 3, but that takes forever. Like instead of doing 360 frames, you could be doing 3600 frames. I mean, I suppose you could do it at like 0.5s intervals as well. I suppose we'll see what the, but it does sort of, I guess the correct way to say it is it tweens itself. So, I mean, as long as the animation looks smooth and it's barely noticeable, then it's fine. -13. This is the most boring process known to man, but at least with this VOD I'll also be able to get a full idea of how long this actually takes to do. When I've been talking to people about like taking commissions for doing shit like this, one of the things that I hear a lot is like you need to basically work out how much your time is worth. Like if a piece of work, like I know for a fact that the timer takes about 2 hours to make, because you've got to make each individual number for it. I think I actually streamed making that. You've got to make each individual number in the font that's requested. You've got to, the worst part about it is timing, because you want it to act like for a 5-minute timer, you actually want it to be a 5-minute timer, and if you sort of skip out on that, then like if you skip out on the almost perfect timing, then it becomes a real problem. This music is probably going to start putting me to sleep, but I slept relatively well last night. So. Was up maybe slightly earlier than I would have liked, but otherwise it's all good. This is the kind of stuff I love doing just to take my mind off real life. Like, it takes a bit of time to do, but at the end of the day, it's something that it's like a minor expression of artistic talent. Like, I can only work realistically with things that already exist. So it's sort of one of those things where it's, you know, you gotta use what you can find really. Like when I did Unis Overlay, that took quite a lot of time, but then again there was also a lot of back and forth between us, sort of fine-tuning the end product, which I personally wasn't too happy with, because I couldn't find something in high enough quality. I could probably make one, but it wouldn't be, I don't know how good it would be. Like, that's the thing, is there are some assets that you can make from scratch effectively. Like, I mean, this is technically from scratch, even if it is just 2 circles and a bit of font. This takes like 5 minutes, but I've done this exact kind of thing before. So it's when it comes to zoomies that this becomes a problem. But yeah, using there's like shit tons of royalty-free resources out there that you can use, and usually, like, if you look hard enough, you'll find something you need, or something that's close enough to what you're looking for that it, like, basically makes no difference. So once we've hit 90, actually, what was the length of that video? If I go back to my profile, the thing about doing this is you sort of get into a pattern of doing it. You get used to it, like you get used to the steps. But then, like, if you lose track for a sec, then so that one was 5 seconds. So yeah, we're so what's that? 63, 64. So yeah, once we get to 6 seconds, we'll know how far I actually did rotate it before. Or well, once we get to 90, we can just times that by 4 and work out from, like, mathematically from there. So I definitely didn't do the full 360 degrees on it, which is why it looks a bit trash. And even then, you don't really go full 360 degrees because your first frame always has to be at flat 0. So it's like 359 frames, but technically it's still 360 because the first frame is what brings you back to the rounded off edge. And I tried putting an effect on it so that it looked like it was resetting, but it wasn't. And it's actually, like, still super noticeable, which is really disappointing. It shows that at that point I wasn't doing something right, and I was trying to sort of cheap out on the entire job. Which at the same time, it's like, this isn't for anyone else but me, so it doesn't matter if I'm cheaping out on my own work. It's like, but then sometimes you're doing something for somebody else, and, like, you obviously have to put in that, like, a lot more work, because and obviously, like, revisions and stuff, because you know, they might not be happy with the first result. And that's why I generally don't do art for other people, because, like, sometimes like, what you've got in your head is really hard to explain to somebody in words, like, because obviously you've got a visual image in your head, or maybe even drawn it down on paper, but, like, getting somebody to really put that into a computer and go, yeah, this is what you want, right, and then be happy with it is questionable. And even then, like, you could go through a whole process, get something completely done, and then it can come back at the end and the end result isn't what you thought it was going to be. That's too many. And then you've got a whole new ball of problems to deal with. So it means starting from scratch. So yeah, I must have only done 180 degrees rotation before, and I'm guessing that for some things you only need 90 degrees, but that's more on vertical. Like, I used to make spinning half-stone cards for like, for bits and pieces like that. It wasn't particularly well made, but it was useful for what I was using for at the time. And I had this whole, like, template, so that the idea is that you do one card spinning, and then so you had, like, the card that you're using on the desktop, and then you close this, delete the card that was on, like, the card that was on it, and then you put the one you want spinning on the desktop, and then you'd rename it to the original one. So when you open this and it goes, sorry, we can't find that, it would then go. It would you just like you just replace it with the one that's now on your desktop, which is it's not really cheating. That's just I was about to say industry shortcut, but I'm not industry, so it doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, it's one of those things where like it's a template effectively. All you got to do is remember to name the thing on the desktop. I mean, even then you can just replace it with a different thing. I ended up deleting that template though, because as it turned out, where I was getting all the images for Hearthstone cards, the images weren't actually all the same size. So it made life very difficult, because like you can scale them in this, but if the scaling is even slightly off, then it won't match up to the rest of the document, and then you're fucked. And that was much easier than this, because all you had to do was rotate the card by 180 degrees, and then like obviously the other 180 degrees would be the back of the card, which you never have to edit, because that's always going to be the back of the card, unless you and even then you can swap that out for different card backs. So yeah, you know. I wanted to put like this as something like working on debut stuff, but even if I do end up with a Noah model, I don't know if that means I can debut. Feels a bit weird to say that, considering how much I sort of am not the world's biggest fan of the whole concept of debuts in like VTubing. Like, there are streamers who I've watched, and there's a clip I've got somewhere which I have to find or recreate, but they were talking about how when you do a debut, like you get loads and loads of viewers from that because it's a debut and people want to be there for the event. But then usually but it inflates how much you think your audience is going to be forever, and generally that isn't the case. Like generally your viewership will never be as high as it is on your debut, unless you're very lucky. But yeah, generally if you debut, you'll get a lot of viewers for that one stream, and you'll never see anything even close to that. Admittedly, this is mainly for people who are relatively new to it. Like, we got a very, very long period of like easy mode for streams. If you started VTubing during like the COVID pandemic when everyone was locked down, and you were basically in the right spot to do it, the only people who are quote unquote more successful than VTubers who got a really good start during that period of time are people who have been doing it for years, basically. Nowadays I've seen a lot of people, I don't know why they do it, but a lot of people have come to my DMs and asked like, you know, oh, what can I do to improve my viewership and that kind of thing, and it's like, you can't, not really. You know, obviously I have to give them platitudes and say it'll be alright, but you know, that's about as much as I can do, because oh dear, that's bad. Because at the end of the day, we're no longer on easy mode, we're back on hard mode. Lots of people will say it's sort of, you know, not a competition between you and another content creator, but it really is. Like, if people are going to be in more than one community generally. You know, if you've got viewers, then those viewers are likely to be watching more than one streamer. And like, if you're live at the same time as that other streamer, then you're generally like going to be in competition with them for that viewer. So, and a lot of people don't seem to really understand that fact, especially considering how many VTubers there are nowadays. There are a hell of a lot of us. I mean, some people have it a lot easier than others. I'm very aware of my weaknesses in this community, so. But it's trying to find a way around them that matters. And I don't know. But yeah, it's weird when people come to me. It might be because when I first started out, I made it very clear to a lot of people that I've been doing, like, making videos on the internet for nearly a decade. And maybe they assume that makes me some kind of expert. Like, not really. It just means I know how to make videos, and I've got a lot of advice that nowadays would probably be considered as outdated. Because it's, like, back in the day, it was fine to, if somebody came into your stream and, you know, they were kicking up a stink or whatever and being an arsehole, then the prerogative of the streamer was to call them an arsehole and boot them. Nowadays you do that and you know, you get into shit. People start, you know, oh, they kicked me out of their stream because XYZ reasons. Like, they're always trying to justify it. But that's the generation of content creators I'm from. Like, people who, if you're being a dick in their chat, they will, you know, they'll just straight up boot you. You won't get a second chance. I mean, Asmongold's is the funniest. Like, he does his unban request as content, and I'd fucking eat that shit up because that's good content. Like, why not make content out of the clowns? There's always somebody trying to start trouble somewhere. And like, a lot of, I've seen, like, one of the things I've had somebody come to me about was like, this person's causing shit in my chat, what do I do? And it's like, you boot them. It's like, well, I don't really want to do that. And it's like, well, that's your option, you know. Like, if somebody came into my chat, but before I was a VTuber, like, one of the things I used to do, like when I was a live, I'm sort of like a face streamer or whatever the fuck they're called nowadays, like a non-VTuber streamer. Like, I've got this chair which everybody's heard it go off at some point, and it's, yeah, I'm a bit on the heavy side, and like people coming in and going, you know, oh, is that chair going to be all right? You know, and it's like, you're calling me fat in my own stream, you fucking stupid, get banned, bitch. Like, there's always somebody who's going to try and cause problems to someone. One I've seen more specifically, more recently, is like people with extremely not safe for work usernames going into say so streams or like safe for work streams, and like, you know, trying to draw attention to themselves because of their username. And it's like, well, you know, you've really picked the wrong fucking audience for that. Like, generally the people who will pay attention to that, you know, they're a different kind of person. Like, oh yeah, haha, you got 69 in your name, haha, very funny, haha, I know what that means. You know, it's not like safe for work streamers don't know what it means, it's just that it's not part of their, what's it called? I guess the less I say about, you know, the whole concept of lewd tubing, the better. Last time I brought up anything about it, I got a lot of shit. But my argument from back then still stands, is that it is an easy mode. It is an easy mode. It's easier to be, you draw in a higher average viewership for it, because, I mean, there are statistics that prove that the ratio of male to female people on Twitch is significantly higher. Hooray, 200. I'll wait until I finish this and I'll grab a drink. Nearly there. Minus 201. In the corner is the new model made by Noah Arkwright. Like, I was explaining to somebody the other night that it was, I've sort of watched that model being made, like sort of like all of the work in progress posts, and I asked for it to be reserved until well, basically the end of the month, and because like it would, like, I've been told I can have the green changed to red, which is basically my aesthetic on my own model anyway, but it's like, it's sort of almost like seeing a child go, because it does look, it's basically a significant upgrade on my current model. Like, I'll still obviously use my current model sometimes and the Ryko model, but like, you know, for some things I'll become my main model, and over time I'll probably make it into my main model. And then if things go very well in future, then I'll be able to afford like the model I actually want, which is, I think it's honestly going to be impossible to visualize to an artist, and then like it'll be even worse to animate because it requires transparency panels, which I don't even know if is a real thing. So like, it requires transparency over skin, like, but without it being full transparency. So it's kind of really awkward to explain and describe. It's exactly what I was saying earlier. If somebody has an idea in their head of what they want, then it's kind of hard to explain that to somebody without like having any real artistic talent, which I don't. I mean, I've got a very small amount of artistic talent. I can draw some things, but it's like, when it comes right down to it, if somebody said to me, okay, draw me what you want and then we can try and work on that, like, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd have to find something that's a sort of similar body shape and then trace off that in order to get like a baseline for what I need. But even then, like, that's going to be really hard. I think the model I actually want would fall into like the Eldritch Abomination kind of category. Like one of those, it's not like impossible to visualize, it's not even really that difficult. It's just the kind of work that would need to be done on it is not easy and would probably end up costing me a lot more because of that. And because of the extra work that would need to go into it. Minus 240. Minus 241. We are 2/3 of the way there. Before they talk too much. Having someone's skin colour determine how you treat them, and they are the picture of that description, and say want to play fast and loose with definitions. Wait, what the fuck is this in response to? Oh right, the Cleopatra thing. Yeah, I knew they were going to do that. It's exactly like what they did with the Obi-Wan show, where Reva was what the hell was her name? Who played? Like, the thing is like, obviously the only person who we really like, who played Reva in Obi-Wan? Moses Ingram. Yeah, it's not like, nobody really, I don't honestly think anyone gave a shit that it was a black woman playing her. It was that the entire the acting was not good. Like, her motivations seemed all over the place and don't make any sense. Like, again, it's, you know, that kind of, it's another one of the things that I can just say Mauler did a better job of explaining it than I ever will, because like, I don't know how the fuck these people do this, but like, they talk at length for ages about like movies and TV and stuff, to the point where like people like me almost revere their ability to do it. Like, I can't. I don't know if I could do that. There aren't that many subjects I could talk about at length. It's just mostly random ramblings and hoping for the best that what I've said isn't like too offensive to anyone. It's fucking hot. I've been out on my computer's not having a good time. Outside, the fans ain't screaming at me. Then again, this is nowhere near as dense as what I was working on last night, so that's probably a good thing. Like, the maximum this will go to is 360 frames. What I was working on last night was 10 times more dense than this. And I didn't really consider that. And my fans just fucking hated it. My entire computer just hated that job. What we're going to try and do before... Oh no, it won't happen before the end of May, will it? That's like literally a week. Unless I see Alex this weekend, and even then we'll like be really hard pressed. Is to see what parts for computers I've got and then build up a second computer for literally just rendering the stream. Like, I can still do all my games and that on this one, but offload the streaming element to my a secondary computer. I wanted to do it through my laptop because the laptop has been proven to be able to do things, but the problem with that is that in order to do it that way, the Elgato would need to be installed on the laptop, and the laptop doesn't have PCI ports. Unless we can get like a PCI dock for a laptop. When I was living somewhere else a long time ago, we used to talk about getting an external graphics card and hooking it up to a computer. Hooking it up to my laptop, because at the time I had my 8930G, which is a really nice laptop. I still have, but it's broken due to time mainly. And that was a cool idea. We never ended up doing it because the docks are stupid expensive. But I'm assuming it would work roughly the same way as that. 271, 270. But if I can get hold of one that's like something like that, then I could hook the Elgato up to my laptop and run the computers, just the stream through that and all the elements for the stream, like all the model and that. Still keep. I'd have to get a USB extension for the webcam, but that's the only real problem I can see with it. So, but yeah, like that's something I would have liked to have had for the end of this, but I'll have it by the end of June. That's the plan. Is that end of June, start of July is when I'm going to be doing a lot of new stuff, and I kind of really need to either have a second PC or like a dock so my laptop can handle the encoding for stream, because my computer, it can do both sometimes, but when it doesn't want to do it, it really doesn't want to do it. Like, I can safely say that Elden Ring is the problem on PC. I can't fully blame that on my PC's hardware, because it should be far more than capable of playing it. But also, like, when other people who have, like, I mean, I've seen people who have lower end builds running it, and I've seen people who have higher end builds playing it, and they also have problems. And then of course there's the smart people who just play it on console, but I don't have a 7th gen console anymore, so I can't do that. I wish I hadn't sold my PS4 sometimes, that would really come in handy. But yeah, it's one of those things I'll get sorted out again one day. Get another PS4. I want to fix my Scorpio as well, as we are reaching a point where, I mean, I've got like 200, I think it's between 200 and 300 games on my computer, and yeah, I want to be able to play some of them, but there's not really a lot of games that are exclusive to console anymore. Like, if I could, I'd get a PS5 easily, because that Ratchet and Clank game that probably will never come to PC. And Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is coming out at some point as well, which I won't be able to play because of Square Enix exclusivity, and that's my main problem with them. Like, I don't really give a shit about Final Fantasy 16. It doesn't look that appealing to me. Like, Final Fantasy 15 did. That's because it's like, I don't know. Oops, did I just go far too far there? Yeah, I liked Final Fantasy 15, but that's like, oh, I went 302 instead of minus 302. That explains a lot. Yeah, I wondered. I saw it change drastically, but luckily I caught that, because that's the kind of thing that once this is fully like put together, or more accurately pulled apart, it's almost impossible to find the one like incorrect link. Like where exactly on the timeline it happens, because then you've got to shave it all back down. And usually at that point it's just easier to start again, which I don't really have the patience for, so generally. Minus 308. What was the other one that people didn't like? Oh, Rings of Power. Yeah, that show was crap. Like, there's just too much in it that isn't, like, they basically wrote their own fan fiction, and then self-inserted Galadriel was like I don't know. I'm not completely opposed to the concept of girl boss, because like I liked Lara Croft movies, and I think there was only 2 of those, and Hunger Games, which was good until the second 2. Well, the first 2 were actually really good, and then the second 2 were just political nonsense. If I wanted to watch political nonsense, I'd just turn on the news and then probably punch a hole in the telly or something, because it's boring. But yeah, like I did watch them. They were just really, really boring. The books were better, probably. I've got them, but I haven't read them in a while. And then I mean, I could rail on Star Wars for a while, but there's no point doing that. Although saying that, Mandalorian ended on a bit of a weird cliffhanger with Din Djarin being captured by Gideon, Moff Gideon. And they never explained what happened, if they killed him or not. I was watching the event video on it while I was doing chores this morning, and they were talking about like what could happen with that, because obviously they're not actually going to kill him off, because Pedro Pascal will always want like a paycheck, and like that's a very easy way for him to do that. But at the same time, there were a couple of episodes where like shit that had nothing to do with anything came in, like the whole cloning and that. The guys on Coruscant who were like part of a brainwash weirdo wacko cult thing. I reckon that instead of killing Din Djarin, they might brainwash him or like wipe his mind. I think that's what that was setting up for, because they never paid that off at all. Like after that one scene where I think she actually kills him, they don't ever explain what happened. But I'm wondering if that's where they were going with like setting that up. It's Chekhov's gun. Like you don't set up something like that without paying it off, otherwise you're just a bad author. Which I mean could also be the case. Like, but at the same time, I think that would be an interesting one where like, the problem is of course you wouldn't be able to do like Peter and Adam in Heroes, because Din Djarin does not have a accelerated healing factor. So I don't think that's how they could do it. Like I reckon he'd probably go to, they probably put him on Navarro. Like as he will take up like some land and become like a mercenary or something for big dude in charge. That's where my headcanon's taking it, and obviously I'm probably wrong. But if I'm being completely honest with the situation that they're currently in, I reckon that would be like the best place they could take it, like to redeem all the bullshit. Obviously, the show is leaning more heavily into making Bo-Katan the main character, which, you know what, fine. Like the show's called Mandalorian, it's not called Din Djarin. Like I'm not completely against it. I actually quite like the character as well, because she's not like completely atrocious. Okay, she can be a bit of a bitch, but then again, that's a character for you. Both free. But at the same time, it's not like honestly, I think Star Wars has done far worse to characters than Vocaton. I'll say that much. And obviously that is Ray. Everything about Ray is bad. I don't like her. -357, and we're nearly done. -358. -359. And that's it. And then we do one. I'm going to do one for 360, even though it's not entirely necessary. Just to cut off the end. -360. Boop. There you go. So yeah, I must have only done half the first time, and then group. And because it doesn't have that clipping problem anymore, I'm hoping. Oh, hold on, that's why I grouped it. Sorry, hold on. Because what I need to make sure doesn't happen. Yeah, it doesn't like this because there's that many things on it. I just need to make sure that when it swaps to the next one, yeah, so it's fine. Why is there 362? Stop. Why is there 362 media? It should be at maximum 361. So I've clearly fucked something up somewhere. Weird. It's not liking this. I should have saved at least some point, but it didn't seem to be having a problem. That's what it is. So I'm just gonna have to let it do its thing until it decides to work again. You know what? I'll save time. Get out a second one as well. Look how cool that looked. And since there's no image on that as well, I can. Right, so I need to work out why there's 362 clips here. Because at most there should be 360. Yeah, 360 total, and there isn't. That's 361. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I'll go with the cherry one first. Can opening here smart. So on average, I'd say that takes about an hour to go from start to finish. Like I'd say, like while I'm only 50 minutes in, I would say that there's probably another 10 minutes. Like if somebody doesn't already have their own font for it and they want me to find them a font that sort of suits them, then yeah, it'll probably take me about 10 minutes on the font for that. So I'd say about an hour. These take about an hour to make. Oh, I'm gonna hate this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10? There are 2 10s. Awesome, we found it early. So wait, let me just double check that that is actually a 10. Yes, that is a 10. Okay, so we found it early, thank God for that. Finding it, like, having to go through all 360 of these just to find the one thing that's fucked is not fun. Group. I can flat render that. 360 clips. That's correct. So now if I just double check, copy paste. Yeah, it doesn't like this because there's so many clips for it to push together effectively. It doesn't like me moving them. Wait, that's not correct. That's 362 media. I want this one copied. That's the old fucked one with 2 clips that had 10-degree rotation. Move, bitch. God damn, there you go. Okay. Cool, so it works. Well, no, I don't want that. Delete that. Okay, and then flat render. And it needs to be at 1920 because the actual file is 1080 by 1080. Rotation. There you go, easy. See, I'll probably say, I mean, if they've already got their own font, then we're looking at between 50 minutes and maximum an hour. Maybe an hour and a little bit. I'm wondering if I could put out tweets and ask, you're going to mute somebody, you don't have anything against them. Okay. Well, then why are you muting them? This should repeat at the end anyway, so as long as it doesn't cut it. So, because of where it starts. No, it just works. I'm officially the Todd Howard of making bullshit. Let me see. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. I'll put 45 minutes because there was a few minutes of fucking around before stream started. These take between 45 minutes and put out my circle because I don't really want widespread knowledge that I'm doing things as commissions. Like, yeah, at least I want time to sort of build up bits and pieces that I'm working on. This one needs to exist specifically. There is a good reason for it. And it's because I'm going to make myself a transition. And that transition requires this video that I downloaded yesterday, which is a Red Nebula ambient space music, background, royalty free, etc. Bullshit. I don't know how these are generated, so I don't know. Oh, hold on. Project settings. I don't know how these are generated. I don't know if they're made using AI or whatnot. So, like, if they're, I don't know if it's just the music or the visual that's royalty free, but honestly, if they have, I don't think they'll probably take much issue with it. It's just generic space sort of thing. So the transition is going to be something like this, but with a circle warp, which is a circle stretch. So if I break off here and then have, and then somewhere in the middle of that will be the thing, and then on the other end is the game. Hold on, what happens if I just do this? Will that just, let me see. Oh my god, that's perfect. I love that as a transition. That works so fucking well. Okay, that works. That, oh my god. I've just discovered the secret to making an awesome transition for streams. Let's fucking go. So I can do, this is going to be an awesome transition. I like the sound of that. So the next thing I want to do, hold on, let me go and find that little notepad document I have. Stream stuff. So these are all the things I want to do. I want to have an intro video. Because of, hold on, let me pause the music. Where's the fucking music coming from? Oh, it's this one. Let me open media player and then open this, and then if I go to, oh my god, this is an old as fuck board. There are some VODs that people do that I just archive. VODs. Is this it? Yeah, it must be. So yeah, I watched Yuria's one, and I want an opening video, and I want music. So this one's catchy as fuck, but probably can't use it. On my head. I've got a headache. Oh, good, I've got painkillers nearby. So yeah, I want to have something not exactly like it, but something similar to that. Animated overlay. So my current overlay, as you can see on screen right now, is like the purple border. I'm going to replace it with this red one. But where the purple is static, it will be replaced with an active one that does effectively the same thing. Problem is that I'm going to have to do it's going to have to be made in Camtasia or in OBS to make it work. Problem is this is a 3-hour video file, and that's going to be hard to. I mean, I can probably make it run for 3 hours, but the problem is this OBS running it for 4 hours is going to be difficult. Then the piece of music, I'm going to use something like MuseScore for that. I'm not making dinner right now. It's like 1 o'clock. I want a piece of music for my streams, like for the opening. I actually want 3. I want one for opening, ending, and sort of going on break music. And then I want to make more emotes, because I've got follower emotes, and my first load were actually crap, and I'm not happy with them in the slightest. And, you know, since I've got infinite time to do it with, I may as well. Backlash. Boris Johnson is accused of a plot to reverse Brexit and rig the polls by giving millions of European workers in the UK and British teenagers to vote. Why would they give the vote to teenagers? They don't know anything. But to be fair, I think leaving the EU did actually fuck up this country, so that's not great. I've already done that. So the problem I've got is I need to make the same border I've currently got, but in here and using this. And I mean, I could use this. Well, it's not 3 hours; it's actually 4 hours. And then work out how to. Let me just double check, because I need to know if this is all this, because some of them have like 10 minutes of one and 10 minutes of another. Yeah, this looks fairly simple, and it's all red all the way through, so I can have that around the border the whole time, which is good. And then I can have, hopefully I can have a kind of transition, whereas it, where it leads, like, so it sort of fills that back in, like that circle stretch thing I was doing earlier. Problem is how do I make this out of a video rather than a static file? I guess my only real option is removing stuff instead of adding. Because when I make the overlay that you can see on screen, that's a flat image that I then crop. But oh, actually, I think you can crop in this, can't you? But you can't crop to shape. Unless, I don't know, I kind of like the way that looks though. So this bottom bit will be easy. I've just got to layer a shit ton of these on top of each other. 3. I didn't actually count how many times I pasted, but I probably should have, because yeah. So I need left, right, top, bottom, followers. And then I also need one for the chevron at the top. So we crop each one in a separate way, and that will create the basis. And since this is being rendered at 1920 by 1080, actually, let's have a more scientific way of doing this, because doing it like what's it called is not going to help me. I need not that. I just need a straight up flat white box. That way I can measure specifically the size, and Do I have where do I overlay? Overlay and follows overlay. Where is that? Desktop content creation testing. Okay. So what I can do is put it in and see what the actual margin for my border is. Desktop content creation testing. There. So that's my current overlay. So I'll be able to work from that. Which will be fine. And then collapse that again because I don't need it open. And I need to find ways to flatten my the sources as well, because I think that overusing them, like using loads of them, is probably not that great. Right, so that's what it. Is there something else there? Yeah, there is. There's that box. Okay, let's put this here. Oh, they're not even at the start. Why are they not at the start? Christ. Showing my real lack of ability here. So that's the dimensions I'm going to be using for it. The only thing that's going to be hard is the chevron. Otherwise, everything else is going to be fairly easy from here. I also need this to be full length, so. And that static image is technically not even really the right size, because when I stretch it across the border in OBS, it doesn't fit properly, so. But as long as it's. Actually, I suppose what I could do is if I bring this, turn off crop, because I don't need that right now, and then send this behind here, then I can just drag it around. Yeah, see, it's slightly too big at the top. Or there's just a white border on it for some reason. Okay, so now we go back to this, drag and drag and drag, and look at that. It's on here. What the fucking hell? Oh, I guess that means Storm's here somewhere. Oh, am I on the right scene for this? Hey, what's going on? Well, somebody played the hardest sound effect. I'm assuming it's Storm. Hi, Storm. Wherever you are. It's snapping. I need it to not be snapping. Edit. Preferences. Is there a snap? Is there a way to turn that shit off? How's it going, my dude? What are you playing? Is my bot offline for that? Shut up video. There you go. That's better. Ooh, what were you playing there? I'm tired and still trying to wake up. Yeah, me too, man. Hotkeys, canvas, advanced. Don't know how to turn off snapping. How to turn off snapping Camtasia. Go to image menu, uncheck canvas snapping. Image. I don't have that. The game that I was playing in that clip was Watch Dogs 2. Oh, nice. Image menu. What fucking menu? Image menu. I'm trying to make a new overlay and I'm having a few problems. Is that? Oh, timeline snapping. There you go. So it's in view. I need to turn all these back on later. Everybody take a drink. I'll turn back on snapping afterwards. Oh, I can just turn off canvas snapping. Whoops, my bad. There you go. So now it should be, yeah, free movement, which is actually not that good. There. Now I'll disable it. Oh, yeah. Well, we're making a few bits and pieces effectively. So far, we've got this. Oh, it opened on this screen, of course it did. As you can see in the bottom right corner, we've got the model that Noah made. That is currently my goal, which I'm looking forward to, because that will be my. I'm hoping I can make that my new model. It's $300, which is £240, and that's for. Let me find a video for it actually, because that's really cool. It sort of shows all the work that went into it. If I go to your YouTube, I think live 2D. I should probably just run this video in the background the whole time. But yeah, I can have all the greens changed out to red, which is very similar to what my model already looks like. So it just looks so fucking cool, and I want it. So that's what I'm currently pushing for. Let me, let's download that, and then I'll put that in the corner instead. I'll probably have it aged up. I'll probably have him aged up a little bit as well. So aged up and all the greens, reds. And that's the model that, let me save and exit this. I think I can actually mute a source if I put it in. Hold on. Let me bring this over here and then swap out media source, local file, downloads. This. How do I mute it? I don't think you can. Doesn't sound like, it doesn't look like it has any. Oh right, yeah, you can just mute it from there. So yeah, that's goals. There you go. That's actually such a better idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that to start with. Let me turn off. There you go. I don't know how to zoom in on this. I mean, it looks like it's in the right place, so. There you go, and I'll just have that looping instead. But yeah, so that's my funding goal, £240, which is a really good deal for a fully designed and rigged model like that. So. So now what we want to do, I need to make this, and then along the bottom, oh, it's scaling across everything. You know what? Fuck it. If it works, it works. There you go. Yeah. So scaling will do, and then we need to make this, and then we need snapping back on. Canvas snapping, playhead snapping. There. Now this will snap to here. We just make it small. Why can't I? Bugger. Can I? Don't think I can lock that. Oh, I can lock that. There you go. Lock. Now that can't move. But everything else can, fucking annoyingly. What is causing that? There's like a double arrow on it. There. So that's what we need. And fit. I need that back. There you go. And then we start at the bottom. So this one, oh, it's, no, hold on, image, shape. So I need it to snap to the very edge of the screen. Hide that. So we want this one to be cropped to the edge of that. And then we bring back this, lock, grab this. That is trippy as shit. So we want it along here next. And then hide. And the second one gets cropped up to the top. And then return to this, swap, unhide to the side. Well, if this is the exact link for that side, then I'm not going to actually fuck with that. 1, 2, 3. So clip crop to there. And then for the bottom, this one. Oh, hold on, I need that hidden. So for the next one, we want crop to here. So that's all the borders. That just leaves the box in the corner here. So get it back. So I need to make that. There's so many fucking edges to this. Right, so now I need to crop it into that corner. Hide that, lock that, and crop down to here, and then down to here. Now, that should be a functional border. So then I need to group all of these. Hopefully it actually does group, because I'm literally grouping 20 hours of video together. Unlock. And delete that. Delete that. Let's find a. Oh, I can't even do that. I need to put something behind it now. So let me find just any old video. Libraries. I guess anything from my memes folder will probably be fine. Libraries. Is that wondering if that's Assassin's Creed Lineage. No, it's just the eagle sound effect. I could use have I got a clip or something? Libraries, videos. Okay, I've got a folder of Twitch clips. Oh fucking hell, I can't even see half of these. I guess this one will do. It's Iron Mouse, so it's always good. Oh yeah, it's not gonna like moving that. I like to move it, move it. The program does not like to move it, move it. Crap. But yeah, so what should happen is that this should play behind it. Oh no, I actually do need a longer video, sorry. Because it needs to be able to play behind it. So we're gonna go... I need something quite long to test the actual... I know Windows Explorer is not responding. I'd like it to, though. If that's possible at all. Oh, actually, I could use one of my VODs. That would work. Desktop. VODs. This one, I believe, was that VOD that the stream that I accidentally did muted, so that would probably be the perfect example. And then stretch it to 1920. Stretch it to 1920. There we go. So now I've got an active border. It's not too bad, actually. The only thing I don't have is that chevron at the top, but that's going to be fucking awful to make. And I'm wondering if it's even possible, because you can only crop in straight lines. By saying that, it looks like you can actually see, if I lock that, yeah, it's slightly too small. I'm wondering if it's, no, I want the actual overlay. Okay. Let's ungroup that again. Because what I need to do now is make sure that it actually fits to the edge of the border. Block hide. Right, so that is... So if it doesn't meet the edge of the canvas, then it's not actually going to be 1920 by 1080. It's going to be some random resolution that doesn't make any sense to anyone known. That isn't what I wanted to do at all. There is something else there that it's clipping to. Shouldn't be able to do that. Problem is, with it being so dark, you can't really see. I suppose if I put that box back in. Let's move this past the edge of the thing and then put a annotation generic white box behind everything, and in that way I can work based on that, because like the rest of this doesn't. It basically just needs to snap exactly to this box and then we're fine. So that's that. So yeah, that's not even long enough. So something's awful there. Looks good. Yeah. Turn that one off, turn this one on. Yeah, again, it's not the right size. Yeah, it's actually not the right. No, it is. It's just not clipping correctly to the right where it should be. Which one did I adjust to? That one. So there's the bottom one, which again is clipping strangely, but it's fine. And then finally the box that goes in the corner, and those should now all line up correctly. There, now I have an animated border. A nearly 4-hour animated border, but once it hits 4 hours I'll have to loop it. Hold on. Technical difficulties everywhere. Right, so turn the text off. Right, so now we have an animated nearly 4 hours of background. So if I take the white box away and put my VOD back, and when it plays, we've got the new background except for the chevron. Why is that all hidden now? No, it's not. It's just because it's very dark. But also because this is not the correct size. So now we can regroup everything as well. There you go, group. Oh, it's because I moved it before that, because it wasn't lining up properly. Because the old overlay is actually flawed. It doesn't fit properly. Because it's not, like you can see, like this canvas is 1920 by 1080, and when it snaps, it doesn't snap. Oh, now it does, for some fucking reason. The only thing left to make is that chevron, and that's going to be awful. But yeah, so we got almost everything done. Oh, I must have been playing this in a window. That would explain it. My head hurts. Oh yeah, I got painkillers. Lovely. Right, so how do I make that? Is it possible to make that? It would be I'm wondering if there's a way to angular crop, but I can't think of one for my head. Problem is there's a way to do it, I think, but it requires a lot of fuckery. So it would require this, and then we'd have to effectively, hold on, let's remove the drop shadow because that's just annoying for no reason. Also pushes it slightly outside of boundaries. So I actually do need my old, I think my old overlay is already in the media bin, so that'd be fine. And now it's now it's not loading. Wow, nine whole fucking tracks. I didn't mean to do that. Whatever. Track 3, so I can have. Why doesn't it want to work? Delete all unused tracks. Actually, I need that on 4 realistically, because I still need to put this back in and have that on a different one. Oh yeah, because track 2 was empty. I'm very smart. Just do it one track at a time. And it didn't cost me a dime. That's the best thing about being able to do stuff like this myself, is it literally doesn't cost me anything to do it. You can pay people to make stuff like this for you, which is actually a lot of people's argument for why I should do commissions, because obviously, like, anybody with a copy of Publisher can make a border like mine. It's not that difficult, but it's the time. Oh, hold on, I need that lined up and then locked. And the only thing I need to be able to move into is this. Right, so that now fits. I need that. I need that hidden. So now I've just got my old border, that and the white box, and so the way I assume I'll have to do it, no, because actually if I make the box green, then I can green screen it out I can chroma it out in OBS. Maybe. Don't know, I've never tried this. Green. So if I hide that, I'll have a green screen. Don't like the idea of this. This is so much extra effort for something that should not be this hard to do. Like, you should be able to angular crop. And yeah, this is actually going to be so much harder than I thought it was going to be. The problem is I really do want that up there because it's like the branding. That's the point of it. Which I'm also going to have to make it again anyway for the sake of this. So reopen publisher. Blank landscape. Insert word art. Oops, insert word art. Jesus, and this is in Magneto font. I've got too many fonts.